Hey folks, I just pulled up to the kennel. I have a treat for you today. I'm going to show you the process of checking a female to see where she is in her heat cycle. On that last kennel there, I have my raven female, and she started bleeding, but I don't know exactly when. Just saw a little bit. So for you guys that's taking dogs out of town and you want to make sure that you're going at the right time, there's a test that you can administer. They draw the blood and they check her blood for her progesterone level, and I'll show you that process. Hanging out with me. Alright, nope, she's not on the end. Thought she was on the end, but she's right there. She's right there. That's my baby. And you done got in there with her? That's famous, y'all. It's one of my young females, faster female. And this is Raven. That is Pimp and Slim's mother. So we're gonna make that cross again. It was such a good one, so we're gonna see what we come up with. Okay, folks, we got her all loaded up. Now we're gonna take her to the vet, and they're gonna draw that blood and see where she is. Okay, folks, we are pulling up to my vet. So let's see how this is gonna work out today. We got the lady sitting in front. Can you explain how this works to a degree? Like
the progesterone testing?
Yeah, the pulling of the blood and how and what does it show?
Okay. So we're pulling blood for progesterone testing. We check progesterone levels to determine time of ovulation. Usually a dog's progesterone, when they're not in heat, starts out somewhere below 0.5. As they go into heat, it will gradually go up. Ovulation occurs when progesterone is somewhere between 5 and 7, and then it will continue to go up from there to support pregnancy.
And that little window, that ideal window to breed, is
usually about 2 to 3 days after the ovulation. So we see when the progesterone is between 5 and 7, you want to breed them 2 to 3 days later. Okay, we got our sample. It'll take about 15 minutes to run.
okay. We'll wait and see what it says, little girl. Right. See where you at. See when we gotta hit the road.
If you wanted to just take a guess as to when to breed her from here, with a 1.27, I would guess probably going to be ovulating 3 to 4 days from now, so that would be Monday or Tuesday, and then breeding Wednesday or Thursday would be the best guess at this stage. If you want to actually nail it down and know exactly when to breed her, then you would want to check her again Tuesday or Wednesday to see, make sure that she's ovulated at that stage.
Okay. So it differs. It's nothing like each dog has a...
Each dog is a little bit different.
Okay. Okay. So
on average, if you're at 1, you're going to ovulate about 4 days later.
Okay.
But some dogs can go slower, some dogs can go faster.
Okay. All right. So you said come back and check her when?
About Tuesday or Wednesday would be when I would check her.
Okay. Now, if I didn't check her, it would be safe to take her up on what day?
If you wanted to just guess,
yes,
and breed her, if you're going to do it that way, I'd breed her back-to-back days. Do it Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay.
And then just that way you've got a little bit higher chance of catching her.
Okay. Great. And you, as far as breeding, I normally breed for 3 days. Is that like that window?
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Okay.
If you wanted to do Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Is there a possibility? I always had this question. Is there a possibility if I were to breed, like maybe on the first, just hypothetically on the first, skip 2 or 3 or 4 days and breed her again on the 5th or 6th? Is there a chance that puppies will be in different stages at birth?
There's a chance. We have seen that situation apparent in some of the C-sections that we do.
Okay.
Where some of them will be look more mature than others.
Yes.
Theoretically, she should release all of her eggs on the same date.
Okay.
And therefore, the eggs are the same age, and it doesn't really matter when they get fertilized.
Gotcha.
That they should all be ready at the same time.
Okay.
But we have occasionally seen some evidence of differences in stage of maturity.
Okay.
Based on breeding multiple times.
All right.
But I don't think that's
common.
I don't think that's the most common scenario.
Okay. Okay. There's a lot of old folk tales out there, so just try to clear them up as I go. But it made sense to me.
I've certainly seen it, but most of the time, that's not what I see.
Okay. So it won't hurt to just, because the old way we would just leave a dog in there with the male for, throughout the whole
days.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I appreciate it, and
okay.
If my schedule presents itself, I'll come back and check her again, but I may not be able to. So
that's fine.
So
Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning, if you're able.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doc.
No problem.
Hey guys, I'm back. Just got finished feeding them up, so I wanted to expound a little bit on what just took place. Guys, that test has really saved me a lot of worry and money. When you have to take those long trips out of town to breed to a male that's way out there, 400 or 500 miles away, you want to make sure you go at the right time. I mean, it's a process in which you do not want to try to guess, because it could be a trip that wasn't worth it in the long run. So I wanted to bring this to you guys. So and it took me many years before I even heard about it or knew about it. So I just wanted to put it out there so I could help some of you guys out there that's doing those type things, that's making trips to other gentlemen to breed to their males. Just let you know there's a way you can narrow it down to those optimal days that your female will be ovulating and ready to breed. I'll tell you a quick story real quick. I had to take a female from my kennel and I shipped her to New York City. So I had to get a dog hauler to come here, take her all the way to New York City. And it was a 1-day deal, because the gentleman that lived there that had the male dog, he had to be on a plane the next day. So I only had 1 day to make this happen. And I could not have done that without administering this test and knowing and nailing it down. And luckily it fell in that window a day before he had to leave. But make a long story short, that breeding produced Pressure, which is one of my best females here in the kennel. And for you guys that want to take those extremes, the results can be great sometimes. I believe in finding the right male for a specific female. 90% of the breeding is in-house, but occasionally I have to go out there and find that male that I'm looking to get something else that will add to the puppies and add to my kennel. So at the end of the day, guys, it was well worth it. I don't have to guess anymore. I used to leave them in there the duration. You heard what the doc said about that. I've also tried to estimate, and when it comes to estimating, we all kind of wait to see that first drop of blood or those first drops of blood. But who's to say that that dog didn't bleed 2 days or 3 days before? Very likely, and we just absolutely missed it. So, typically you account from that first day you see blood, and then roughly 10 days after that they start breeding, and then you will, you know, some people breed on the 10th day, but my doctor always told me the 12th day. So always kind of, before I was administering this test, I will always kind of wait for that 12th, 13th day. He felt that that's the optimal time to breed any female, you know, once you narrow it down to those dates. So, guys, just wanted to put it out there so you know it's out there. So if you have something, a high-powered female, and you want to make sure you make some babies and got a great chance of making the babies, administer that test so you can take her and make sure that she's getting bred when she's supposed to. But we're gonna be running some dogs this evening, guys, so we're gonna shut this camera off. But until next time, y'all keep running those dogs.